again. Oh, beautiful. Then there's berries. Did you see the little berries? Oh, beautiful. Then there's berries. Did you see the little berries? Probably not edible. Well, it's 6:40 on Wednesday, July 8th, and we still haven't reached the waterfall just below Lake Ethel. It's been really hot. So we've been really slow, taking a lot of pictures. So we got to get up there. But only about another 150 feet of elevation gain. Probably about less than half a mile. Wow, I just turned the corner and look at this magnificent waterfall. I can't see it here. This is fantastic. I don't know if this is the one that's on the map or not. I'd have to pull out the GPS. But if it's not, it's still pretty spectacular. Well, good morning. It is Thursday. It is about 7:30. And I'm just emerging from the tent. The low was about 33 degrees. And let me turn this around and you can see my view from the tent this morning. Wow. Got some neighbors here. Looks like they're trying to start a fire. See, there's a little waterfall over there. Looking back on to Lake Ethel, our first night camp out. Lake Ethel still climbing out of the basin. Well, good morning again. It's 11:34. We got a late start, which was fantastic. Slept in until the sun hit our tents and could dry out the condensation. So, still on the little small climb out of Ed's Lake. I don't know if you can see it behind me. A lot of blowdown in this area. Today's going to be another short day, about 5 miles. We're going up to I don't remember the name of the lake. Max Lake. And hopefully we can find a nice campsite there. We had a little situation yesterday. We got to Lake Ethel, and the group, we were pretty beat, you know, because we'd driven in from Salt Lake City, and pretty tired and not acclimatized. So we got there pretty late, and when we got there to the lake, everybody was pretty beat, so I went on ahead to look for a campsite. Well, I found a primo campsite and set up my tent, and then went back and they'd found a rock surface and had set up their tents. So I trudged on back to where I had set up. And let me tell you, the sight I had was fantastic. All right, I'll check in a little later. All right, what we've got here is Ed's Lake. We've been walking for about 35 minutes. Pretty nice. It's 11:26, and here's our first glimpse of Lake Christina. And we're at an elevation right now of about 9240. Another view of Lake Christina. Oh, it's fantastic. We're going to stop here and have some lunch because I need to get some tortillas and peanut butter out of my pack, lighten it up a little bit. Okay, we've arrived, or I have arrived at Penny Lake. It is 1:50 in the afternoon. Penny Lake. We got about a half a mile to Max Lake. We still have to go up about 300 feet. Okay, we're almost to Max Lake, and looking back, looks like you can see Ed's Lake, and then behind that, Lake Christina. Interesting. Okay, just one switchback later, a much better view of Ed's Lake, and then behind that, Lake Christina. Like I said, we are almost to Max Lake. Okay, we've reached Max Lake, and time check is 2:50. Time check is 2:50. We're going to try to make it to the other side of the lake, because that, according to the map, that looks like our best chance of finding campsites. But maybe we'll get lucky. It's a video.
Yep.
It's a video, Rocky.
So it's video?
Yeah.
Oh, I was like...
Tell them what you got for dinner tonight.
Oh, chicken and rice, I think. We'll find out what's it on freeze dries.
And I've got, I think, beef chili mac. I'm not sure. We'll find out when I eat it.
And it looks like the mosquitoes must be out in.
They're not bad right now. They come up with we get a little bit of breeze with the wind and they're gone. And when the wind dies down, of course they come back. But
All right, here's a view of Max Lake. It's like 6 p.m. We are cooking dinner, but not at the lake. We couldn't find a good place to camp. So we're up on this little saddle. Not too bad.
you can put in 2 cups. No. Okay. 1 3/4, so about 3/4 of what you got. I just do a half. You got a cup that's in there. Right.
It looks great. Today is Friday, July 10th. We're in the Bridger Wilderness. We're still here. We're camped just above, well, about 100 feet above Max Lake, having breakfast. It's a beautiful day so far, blue sky, and got down to 35 degrees last night. So we'll be hiking. Today will be another short day with an asterisk. We're hiking up to, I forget the name of the lake. Anybody remember? We're hiking up to a lake
another lake.
We're going to hike past Horseshoe Lake.
Horseshoe Lake, that's where we're going. So I'll check in later. Okay, this is your host. We're finishing up breakfast here, getting ready for our 5-mile jaunt up to, I forgot, our Horseshoe Lake.
Yes.
So, again, it's a fantastic day. Just wrapping it up, and I'll check in once we get on the trail.
The way you rolled it, once you put it in the stuff sack, you have to slide in. Try to rotate it that way.
Okay, we have just started walking past Max Lake where we couldn't find a good site. We walked to the very first pond just beyond where we camped and find this fantastic site with a stream and a meadow. A beautiful little section. It's 10:20 on Friday morning. We're starting to break out of the desolation caused by the pine bark beetles and the fires. Getting to a beautiful little section right here. We're going to stay about the same altitude. Yeah, and there's the lake. The other terrain feature, Lake Edmund Lake or something. Can't see it real good from this point in the trail. Okay, make a correction. It's 10:45, and I'm saying this is Lake Edmund or Edmund Lake. I made a mistake on the first one. I thought one of the ponds that were on the map was dried up, but we hit two big ponds, bang bang, and so this is Lake Edmund, or Edmund Lake here. It's freaking beautiful. And the terrain has definitely changed. It is much greener here. It's pretty sweet. Okay, it is 11:30. We're at the marked pond on the left-hand side of the trailhead, about a half a mile from Lake George. Okay, it's day 3. It's about 12:30. We're approaching George Lake, which is not even 3 miles, maybe 2.5 miles. We've been going 3 hours. Apparently our group is not a real strong group. We got 2 people who are wearing new boots, and now they have blisters, and they did not battle test the boots, so now they're struggling. So we'll see what happens. This is a real pretty stretch though between Mac Lake and here. We did get it through some heavily forest sections, as you saw, which were beautiful. We're back up a little higher. We're dropping, and now we're dropping down into George Lake, but you can still see a lot of pine bark beetle damage, but the forest is trying to recover. So I don't know what time we're going to make it to Horseshoe Lake. We may have to pull out the maps. Like I said, we're only 3 days into an 8-day trip. It's looking pretty grim. Hopefully they can tighten up their blisters, or maybe it's the altitude, and they can pick up the pace. I'm almost 68 years old, and I've been super far ahead of everybody, and I am going as slow as I've ever gone, and I am still way out in front. So yeah, it's not looking good. So keep our fingers crossed and see what's going to happen. I'll talk to you later. We started today in the vicinity of Max Lake, and we've come up all this blue line around. And I believe we are right there. And we're going to go around here, get to Lake George. And we're going to take a lunch break up here on this end. And then today's destination is right here, Horseshoe Lake. And we're going to go around here to the north end and hopefully find a nice campsite. It's 1 o'clock, finally made it to Lake George, or the top of a little hill right above the south end. Okay, we have finally made it to Lake George. The last one was Coyote Lake, which we got on the wrong trail. Missed the trail junction, it was hidden. So we're a little late getting down here. So we're gonna look for a place to camp and see what happens. All right, we got some wildflowers going on here at Lake George. We're looking around for a campsite.
The breeze, yeah, it's dying down, it seems like.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get my thing. And some socks. I like this shirt, Bob.
Good morning from Lake George. It's about 7 o'clock and we're drying our stuff. A lot of condensation.
Got it.
Still Lake George. So pretty. Still about 10 o'clock. Saturday. Good morning. Again, it's Saturday, day 4 of our 8-day Wind Rivers loop. Because our group is not capable of doing 5 miles a day, we're going to do plan B. We're headed to Horseshoe Lake this morning, and Carmina is going to camp there while we go up and do an alternate loop. We've got two of our hikers have blisters and wearing new boots, and it's a shame, but they're really marching on like troopers. However, I gotta tell you though, these lakes are just so freaking beautiful that, and they were, in all honesty, they look pretty similar. It was great fun camping next to them. We didn't have a campfire because the winds have been really strong. All right, we're getting to a nice little patch of woods here just below Horseshoe Lake. I'll talk to you later.
Onto the foreground.
Oh, we already took pictures of that too. Don't you worry.
Sure.
Take videos.
So, no secret trail junction. Barn.
Barnes Lake.
Yeah, that's where we're headed, and
Sure is.
oh man, that's beautiful over there. Wow. Oh my God, what a beautiful scene.
Beautiful.
All right, let's take a look at the other side of the sign here.
Burnt Lake.
George's Lake, or Lake George.
Joe.
What?
Nice.
It's okay.
Right out of a book, huh? But it's live. Always move forward, don't turn sideways.
And my stick was too short. And then I thought I was too much. I noticed that. I'm like, oh.
They're gonna hold you this time.
I know you can't have to worry about that collapsing.
Yep.
That's what one of my worries before.
Get a little higher up on your left foot on that rock, on the grass. Right.
I made a mistake earlier. This is Horseshoe Lake. I think I referred to it as George Lake. We're headed up to Barnes Lake right now. Good job, Carmina. Good job. Man, don't worry about your pants in the middle of the stream unless you're secured.
Don't drive. Keep going.
We're having a battery check here. Just finishing up from a lunch break.
Heavy, that water.
Greetings and salutations. This is just spectacular. Right there's Big Bob. In front of him is Carmina, and then Rocky leading the way. And this is Lake Barnes. Just come up the valley, 3 back-to-back crossings. Just outstanding. The weather today has been freaking perfect. And we're making great time. Everybody's in real good shape right now. Barnes Lake.
If we're at the right lake, I believe we are.
Here's hoping the ranger doesn't come by.
Price you pay for being exhausted.
What's the name of this lake? Lake Bolton?
Barnes Lake, Barnes something. Hey, that water, I looked at it earlier today. I knew there was something was back there. I wasn't too sure what. There's just too much noise for a little bit of rapid there.
Good morning from Lake. Really cold last night. I think my sleeping pad was inadequate for another 30-degree night. A great Milky Way photography session. So today we're going to take a 0-day, let some blisters heal up, and let some blisters heal up, and found a waterfall. I'm gonna go take some pictures of that, so that'll be pretty sweet. And there'll be night 5, and then we're just gonna do some lake hopping on the way out of here for the next 3 nights.
Okay, I'm gonna walk in the stream here to try to get up to that waterfall that we've been shooting from a distance. It's right there, but I can't get to it because of the bushes, so I'm gonna try to, probably an idiot, but I'm gonna take my tripod and walk through the stream. Wish me luck.
Well, it's Saturday or Sunday. I think it might be Sunday, and it's our 0 day. And I've climbed up here to a little hillock above our campsites to get out of the sun. It's over 100 degrees in my tent, so it really affected my nap. So I'm up here in the shade at this real small campsite, just chilling, and got some snacks. Well, good morning. Today is day 6 of our circuit hike in the Jim Bridger Wilderness and of the Wind River Range in Wyoming. Today is Monday, July 13th, and today we are headed to Coyote Lake. We've had a drastic change of plan from when we started the hike, or when we planned it, due to a couple of things like massive blisters and varying stages of altitude acclimatization. But everybody seems to have gotten their sea legs now. We took a 0 day at Barnes Lake, so we're not going very far, but the weather is fantastic. But I tell you what, my goodness, what a change. If you're sitting in the sun, it's probably 80 degrees. Inside my tent it was over 100 according to the thermometer, a weather station. And last night the low was 31 degrees. My goodness gracious. The mosquitoes have been huge. I was saying, they have been everywhere. Except when you're walking down the trail. If you have some wind, you're okay. But if the wind stops, you are besieged with mosquitoes. So anyway, kind of getting used to it. I'm not sure that's the right word. So anyway, like I said, we're on our way to Coyote Lake, and then we'll see what happens. Found a waterfall. Took some fantastic photos. Oh my God, and got some night shots of the Milky Way. Fantastic. That's the kind of thing I want to do when I get up here. Great Milky Way shots, or I hope. All right, I'll talk to you later.
It makes it look easy.
It is. It's a lot colder too.
Followed by Rocky.
Another day in the park.
Slippery, slippery. Okay, we're at the north end of Horseshoe Lake. Beautiful wildflower meadow. Horseshoe Lake again.
This around my butt area, so I would have more down here.
Don't compress. If you compress it, you lose the insulation.
Don't do that.
No.
Coyote Lake. Day 7. Getting ready to head on out to Blueberry Lake and possibly the Trailhead.
I've never been to a foot massage place.
You'd like it. There's one in Norfolk.
Is there?
It's good.
I don't get out that much.
It feels good.
Well, maybe we should plan a meetup to a foot massage place.
There you go.
Yeah, right after that, I feel like.
We think this is Lake Lovett. Pretty sweet. Today's Tuesday, but we're headed to the Boulder Lake Trailhead and campground. Now we're about 9,500 feet and just left Lake Eldridge or whatever it is. Forgot, and I'll plug that in when I make the video. Big bow down area here. Fire, scorched trees, tons of deadfall, probably pine bark beetles. You can see the valley down there. This is wow. Anyway, we're dropping down. There's Boulder Lake.
Wow.
Across the start.
I am. I'm right here. I just want to see where you're going.
I don't
Look
know.
at a butterfly. Look at a butterfly.
Okay, we're leaving Blueberry Lake at 1 o'clock. Leaving the lake at 1 o'clock. Okay, it's 1:30 on day 7. And we're almost there to the trailhead. Well, it's 2:30 and I've reached the bridge at the campground. So now I am looking for the parking area, which I think is across this bridge. Well, we're back at the trailhead, the Boulder Creek, Boulder Canyon, Boulder Lake trailhead. Today is day 7 of an 8-day Wind River loop. It didn't go quite as planned, but that's what happened. So we came up with a plan B and executed that. And the weather was fantastic. It was getting up to around 70 each day, sometimes close to 80 actually. And at night, see, last night it got down to 32. The night before that, 31. The night before that, 33. So we had a nice little trend of really hot days and very cold, comfortable nights. At least when it got cold, we weren't bothered by the mosquitoes, but man, we had a lot of mosquitoes. So we're back, and I hope you've enjoyed watching the video, and if you have, please subscribe.
Mountains, huh?
Done. I got a couple. Where's the small one? Where's your bandana?
I don't need it.
Okay.
Why did you wash this hat last night?
What do we give it?
Aha! Got him. Left you the peanuts. I don't know why you packed so many damn snacks for this trip.
I'm hungry.
No, I'm talking about overall. What you get for listening to me, huh? I figured you'd eat more than you did.
I ate my full amount of snacks every single day.